This is the story of Samson, the strong man who couldn't say no. If Marvel had a Bible edition, Samson would be their superhero: big muscles, jaw-dropping strength, dramatic life. But beneath all the power was a man who just couldn't stay out of trouble. His story is one of great strength, greater mistakes, and God's amazing grace. Let's begin. Long ago, in ancient Israel, a couple couldn't have children. They had given up hope. But one day, an angel appeared to the woman and said, "You're going to have a son, but he's not like other kids. He's special. From the moment he's born, he's set apart for God. He would be a Nazarite," which meant no alcohol, no cutting his hair, no touching anything dead. This baby was born to deliver Israel from their enemies, the Philistines. His name? Samson. Some people enter the world with something special on their lives, an assignment. Maybe it's you, but here's the truth. Purpose is powerful, but it must be protected. It's not enough to be chosen. You must live like it matters. Samson grew up strong, and I mean movie star strong. No gym, no protein shakes. His strength was supernatural. One day, he went down to a Philistine city and saw a woman. Instantly, he told his parents, "I want to marry her." They were like, "But she's from the enemy tribe." "She's the one. Trust me," Samson said to his parents. Spoiler alert, she wasn't. Attraction is not the same as alignment. Many of us choose partners based on vibes and chemistry, but no vision or values. Samson chased beauty and ignored boundaries, and he paid for it. On his way to visit his fiancée, a lion jumped out at him. Samson tore it apart. No weapons, just hands. Later, he came back, saw the dead lion's body, and noticed bees had made honey inside. He took some and ate it. Pause. That's a problem. He wasn't supposed to touch dead things, but he kept that part quiet. Fast forward to the wedding. Samson made a riddle for the Philistine guests. Out of the eater came something to eat. Out of the strong came something sweet. He told them, "If you solve this in 7 days, I'll give you 30 outfits. If not, you owe me." They couldn't figure it out, so they manipulated his wife. She cried, nagged, and begged him until he gave in and told her. She told the Philistines. When they solved it, Samson exploded. If you hadn't cheated, you wouldn't have one. He went out, killed 30 men, took their clothes, and paid his debt, then stormed off. This is how people with uncontrolled emotions burn bridges. He didn't lose because of the riddle. He lost because he trusted the wrong person and couldn't handle pressure. Ever trusted someone too fast because you were in love or lonely? You're not alone. Samson cooled off. Later, he returned to his wife, only to find out her father had given her to another man. Another explosion. He caught 300 foxes, tied their tails in pairs, set them on fire, and let them run through the Philistines' farms, causing total destruction of their farms. The Philistines responded by burning his wife and her father alive. So Samson retaliated again. More deaths, more drama. Then he ran off and hid in a cave. This is what happens when we live life based on reaction, not reflection. Samson was always reacting, never healing, never growing. If you let every heartbreak turn into revenge, you'll leave a trail of burned fields behind you. The Philistines came looking for Samson. His own people, the Israelites, found him and said, "Look, we don't want trouble. Let us tie you up and hand you over." Instead of fighting them, Samson agreed. "Just promise not to kill me yourselves," he said, and they promised him. They tied him up and delivered him to the Philistines. But as soon as the Philistines showed up, Samson broke the ropes, grabbed a donkey's jawbone, and killed 1,000 men. Then he dropped the jawbone like a mic and walked away. Sometimes the people closest to you won't understand your calling. They'll choose comfort over confrontation. Also, Samson kept winning battles physically, but inside he was still broken. His outside strength hid an inside storm. Here's the twist. He named that place Ramath Lehi, meaning Jawbone Hill. But soon after, he was thirsty and almost died. He cried out to God, "Will you let me die of thirst after this victory?" God opened a spring, and he drank. Even after our greatest wins, we can feel empty. You close a business deal, and feel hollow. You succeed on stage and cry backstage. Victories don't replace our need for God. Strength fades. Only living water sustains. One night, Samson visited another Philistine woman, a prostitute in Gaza. The Philistines plotted to ambush him at dawn. But at midnight, Samson got up, ripped the city gates off their hinges, and carried them to a hill, just to show off. Gifts without discipline become a game. Samson was using his strength, but not his wisdom. Talent can take you far, but character keeps you there. Now comes the most famous chapter in Samson's life. Delilah. Yes, Delilah. Samson met Delilah and fell in love again. This wasn't just love, it was addiction. The Philistines paid her to discover Samson's secret. And like poison in small doses, she wore him down. "Tell me the secret of your strength," she asked again and again. But Samson kept lying to her and deceiving her. But she kept pressing, crying, accusing him of not loving her until finally he broke. "It's my hair," he said. "If it's cut, I'll lose my strength." But truly, it was his obedience that protected him, not the hair itself. She shaved his head while he slept. And when the Philistines came, Samson thought, "I'll fight them off like before." But the Bible says some of the saddest words ever written. He did not know the Lord had left him. They captured him, gouged out his eyes, and threw him into prison. This is what happens when you ignore the red flags because the person is beautiful, charming, or makes you feel wanted. Delilah didn't hide her motives. But when you don't guard your purpose, you hand it to people who only want to destroy it. Samson's greatest moment was his last. While in prison, the Philistines made him grind grain, the job of an ox. Once a champion, now a blind man pushing a millstone. But something started happening. His hair began to grow back. That's grace. Quiet, steady grace. Even in shame, God begins the work of restoration. You may feel like you've blown it, morally, spiritually, relationally. Maybe you're at your own grinding wheel. A job you hate, a marriage you regret, a mistake you can't undo. But hear this, even there, God is not done. Your hair is growing back. One day, the Philistines threw a massive party to worship their God. They brought out Samson to entertain them. He asked a servant to place his hands on the pillars, and he whispered a prayer. "Lord, remember me. One more time, give me strength." Then he pushed the pillars with everything he had. The building collapsed. Everyone inside, including Samson, died. But in that moment, Samson fulfilled his purpose. He defeated more Philistines in his death than in his entire life. Even after your worst mistake, God can still write a powerful ending. You might be bruised, blind, and broken, but if you still have breath, you still have purpose. Samson was called by God, gifted with strength, destroyed by compromise, but redeemed by grace. Final life lessons from Samson. 1. Don't play with what sets you apart. Your strength is sacred. Don't trade it for short-term thrills. 2. You can be gifted and still fall. Talent without discipline is dangerous. 3. Lust blinds. Literally. Choose your relationships with wisdom, not hormones. 4. Failure isn't final. God can still write glory into your last chapter. 5. When you lose sight, pray for strength. You're never too far for God's mercy. Sometimes, your greatest impact comes after your greatest failure. Samson's story didn't end in shame. It ended in surrender. Not everyone gets a second chance, but you do. Thanks for watching. If you found this inspiring or insightful, please share it with someone you love. Also, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel for more interesting stories like this.